Hello everyone, my name's Annette and you might know me on social media as Nettersplays, and today I'm going to go over one of my favorite card games of 2016, and that is Capital Lux. Now in Capital Lux, this game is a small little card game, however the decisions within this game is so complex and very clever for every player to choose from. Now what you're trying to do in this game is you're trying to balance between what's in the center of the table, the capital, and also what's in front of you, your hometown. So let me show you how to play this game just to give you a little overview of how it's played, and then I'll go ahead and present to you why I exactly like this game. So here you're going to have the game of Capital Lux set up. You're going to play a total of 3 rounds. The first round, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have a hand of either 5 or 6 cards depending on the number of players. What you're going to do is then you're going to draft, meaning from this first initial hand you're going to pick 2 cards to keep, and the rest of those cards will go ahead and pass to your left. Now the person to your right is going to give you another set of 3 cards. Of those 3 cards you're going to decide which 2 you want. Sometimes you do want one and the other 2 you don't, but you can easily plan for that. So then you can go ahead and discard that one, and then that final card will go into your hand from the right player. Once you have your hand of cards, you're going to decide one of 2 things on your turn. You're going to pick a card from your hand and you're going to decide whether to play it into your hometown, your tableau area, or if you're going to play it into the capital area of that designated color type. Now the cool thing is, when you play it into your hometown, you don't get any special abilities. You're just adding values of that color type into your hometown. However, if you do play this card into the capital, then you're going to get a special ability depending on what color area you are placing that card in. So at the end of the round, you're going to go through a balancing act between your hometown and your capital. What you're going to do is compare between the values of your hometown for every specific color type. So for example, this value is a value of 4, this is a value of 6. Because your hometown is higher than the value of your capital, these cards are going to go ahead and go away. The other player managed to get a 4 value that's equal to the 4 value in the capital, so they get to keep that card. So sometimes the capital cards have modifiers, which you go ahead and add that or subtract it to the value in that general color in your capital. So instead of having 10, you'll have a value of 7 because it's 3 minus that. Now you're going to have to look at your personal area and see if you have a value 7 or lower. This is an 8, and then this person also had a value of 9. So this is going to go away. Since the capital value is 7 and you have 8, you can always add a coin in order to increase the value of the limit. So you can increase this coin in order to keep the 8 value instead of the 7. So that way you can keep your card. So you run down the line and you kind of check and see if you meet the limit or if you're going to get rid of those cards in front of you. Once you figure out which cards you're going to keep in your area based on the limit of the capital, then you're going to compare your district or hometown values to that of the other players. For example, this player has a value of the 4 green card versus this player has nothing in it. So they're going to keep this card and just add it to their points at the end of the game. This player has the highest value of pink cards in their hometown, so they get to pick this highest value pink card and add it to their points at the end of the game. Whatever cards are left in your hometown, you get to keep that for the next round. We're going to get the deck, and then again we're going to start from the beginning where each player will either have 5 or 6 cards in hand. We start the drafting and then we start playing all over again. So after the first round, you can already notice the buildup of cards in the capital along with the buildup of cards in your hometown. One of the cool things that I really like about this game that is different than any other game I played is the drafting aspect. So you have a hand of cards that you're going to be drafting in the beginning of the game, and you're going to pick 2 cards at a time. Usually in drafting games, you pick a card and then you pass it along and keep on doing that until you have a whole hand. However, since you're drawing 2 cards from that first initial hand and passing it along, you have a setup, a little bit more strategy to kind of think over what you're going to actually play at that time. So it offers a lot more of a decision to make at the beginning of the game with just simple drafting. So I really enjoy the 2-card drafting aspect of the game. Another cool thing that I really enjoy of the game is the balancing act. Kind of trying to figure out what to place in your hometown versus what to play in the capital. Now, you might want to increase your points in your hometown, but you're not going to get those special abilities. And if you place cards into the capital to get those special abilities, you're increasing the potential values that other people can score upon. So you have to figure out and pick and choose what to play every single time it's your turn. And figuring out that balancing act between choosing the ability versus choosing the potential points is really hard to make. And I really love that complexity and that cleverness of card play within your turn. Another great thing that I enjoy about this game is the build-up. You only have 3 rounds to play, and after playing that first round, you can already feel the intensity and the complexity that is going to embark on your shoulders when you're playing your turn on the second round and finally in the third round. That intensity of your decision making is just great because it gets more and more harder to figure out, should I really play this or should I really play that? And then there's also the bluffing aspect with the modifiers too. So there's just so much complexity and cleverness in the card play that I really enjoy out of Capital Lux. And for all of those good reasons, that's why Capital Lux is one of my favorite games of 2016. Now, if you ever get a chance and if this interests you, you should definitely check out Capital Lux.